Hello YouTubers, this is M1 Grandman again. Just wanting to go over some other parts of the 9.3 Mauser loading project that I've been doing. And what we're going to talk about today is sizing bullets from 375 caliber down to 365. Basically what we got going on here is some 375 270 grain Spire Point Hornady bullets, and these are some older bullets that I got at a gun shop in Montana. We look here and we can see that these bullets will mic out at 375 roughly. That's 375 thousandths. And then here's some that I did earlier. And basically what I'm doing is I'm taking them down 9 thousandths of an inch, and they come out to well, they're supposed to be 366, but they end up at 365, which seems to work. It's pretty accurate, and you'll find that factory bullets will vary in diameter between 366 all the way down to 365. So what we got going on is some sizing dies. One is a Lee sizer that I had made. It's a custom made one that they'll do for, I believe it's $35, and this one will size it down to 370. And then I got a Corbin sizing die that will do the finish diameter that comes out to 365. Now, for your information, the thicker the jacket, the more force is going to be used to actually size these bullets down. So if you're going with just your standard hunting bullets, they have, I would call it a medium thickness of jacket. But if you're going to do something like you want to size down some of the dangerous game bullets that have that heavy steel jacket, or possibly you want to size down some partitions, you need to go in smaller increments than what I'm doing here. Basically, Lee recommended that you go no more than 3 thousandths at a time, just because it's easier on the press and the dies, and also on the bullets too. But since these things are 35 bucks a piece, and I'd already had my order in for one, wanted to just go with this for now and see what we got. And then you know, if I ever needed to get another die to put another increment in there, I could, but this seems to work just fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this die set up in my Lee press. And it really doesn't matter how deep you seat it. You're going to want to use some case sizing lube on these bullets. And I just use some of this RCBS stuff. It's a water-based case lube, so you can wash it off, or I just use a tumbler to remove it when I'm done. And I'll take my bullets, and you know, I've never actually used one of the ink pad style lubricators. Just rubbing the stuff on my hands seems to work fine. I've done this for years and loaded, oh shoot, I don't know, tens and tens of thousands of rounds, if not hundreds of thousands, and that's how I do it. So in any case, once your bullets are sized, you'll take your bullet, put it in on the ram here, and you're going to need to stand up for this because it's going to take some force. And when I'm getting it seated, I like to tap it a couple times to center the bullet in the sizing die, and just push down. And it goes pretty smoothly. In the past, I was just using the Corbin die, and the issue that I was having was that it was putting a whole bunch of stress on my reloading bench, and I was afraid I'd eventually break the thing. So that's kind of what spurred me on to getting a intermediate sizer, so I wouldn't be doing that. And we'll get these bullets out of here, take a look at them. And I'm just doing 10 for demonstration. I already did 40 the other night. But taking a look now, we're down to just about 370 thousandths, which is right where we're supposed to be. So we'll take all of those. And of course, you know, you don't have to go with the Corbin. They're expensive. I just happened to get this from another gentleman who was casting bullets for the 9.3 at one point. The Corbins are like 90 bucks, so that's why, you know, you might decide that you want to go with the Lee bullet sizers. The other thing to think about here too is you can do this with any bullets that need to be sized down for another application. So you remember I was talking about some of the 6.5 Mannlicher rifles, or you know, maybe you need to make some 6.5 millimeter bullets for your Carcano and they have a smaller bore diameter than most of your 6.5s. This would be a good way to do it. Another cartridge would be your 8 millimeter Mauser for the 1888 Commission Mauser rifles, and they have a smaller bore diameter. This would be a good way to use bullets that are commercially available in your guns. The only thing I highly recommend is that you do not attempt to size more than 9 thousandths. While it's possible to do it, you tend to start deforming the jacket. So it's best to find a bullet that's pretty close to what you need than to find something that's way out of the way. Like for example, I would not attempt to make 8 millimeter bullets, which are 323 thousandths if I remember, and try to size them down to use in my 303 British, which would require a 311 or so, just because that's too much of a jump. So coming back to our calipers, we see that we're right about where we want to be, 365 and a half. So in between 365 and 366, but they'll work. These things will all end up being consistent. And basically the other thing too is, while you can do this for hunting ammo or, you know, target ammo, I generally only use this method to create bullets to just go out to the range and plink with. Now, I know for a lot of you guys, you probably don't think of a 9.3 Mauser as a plinking cartridge, but you know, if you can find bullets at an estate sale or an older gun shop where you can get something that is not commonly used and suit it to your purposes and save some bucks while doing it, then by all means go for it, because it goes bang and it's accurate enough to hit targets out at well, I've shot this 9.3 Mauser out to 550 yards with some of these bullets I've sized, and it's a 12 by 12, or excuse me, a 12 by 18 inch plate, and I can hit it. So anyway, yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. And what we'll probably try to do in the future is another video on loading for the 9.3 and actually going out to the range and shooting it. Anyway, you have a great day and happy shooting.